Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. The question is, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good?
Mm-hmm. What do you ask?
I just wanted to check on you, really. I spoke to James, and he said he had a conversation with you about your friends and us, and that you felt like you was getting kind of pushed down a lane where you had to choose, and that it was stressing you out.
Yeah. That, I think it's just kind of one of those things where, I did have like a conversation, and it was a phone conversation that went on a little too long, and it was, I'll be honest, a roller coaster, and it was a lot, but it did feel that, you know, I understand like where certain people were coming from of, you know, worrying about me. But also it was kind of one of those things where it kept like bringing up like, I feel like, well, what if you get into a hypothetical where you have to pick, then one's going to mean something than the other kind of thing. And you know, I'm trying my best to reiterate it like it's not going to be that way, like I'm going to try for it not to be that way, and it's still, no matter what I say, it's like kind of like my fault. So um I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, it
Well, I just
stresses me
wanted to
out.
talk to you because, like, I hope you know from our side, there's no need for a choice to be made. Like,
No, I know it's I know that's the thing. It's not from you guys at all.
yeah,
Part of me feels like, you know, I don't want to keep bumping heads and having a conversation over it again and going and talk about the same old thing. But I also feel like it's kind of one of those things where you don't want to let something or someone go, or any of that go, because you want to try to work it out. But I
but you
guess the
shouldn't
best way
have
to
to
put
let
it is,
anything go.
I think it's the best way to put it is, I feel like sometimes I put everyone else before me, but no one cares how I feel half the time. And I feel like sometimes you just gets ignored. Like,
But that's why I wanted to talk to you, because I do care about that, and I don't want you to be in a position where you feel like you have to choose. And I don't think you do need to choose. And from our side, you definitely don't need to choose. And I don't think you deserve to be made to feel like you do need to choose.
yeah, it's just it's not like a situation like now like I have to choose anything. It's kind of one of those things where it's just like, now that it's kind of planted into my brain, that's all I can fucking think about. And I'm pretty sure no matter what I decide, I could choose the very less, you know, violent way or whatever kind of way, and it'll still end up being my fault.
It's
And
just
that
not a
sucks.
helpful scenario to put you in, right? Because if you feel like you have to make a choice, you're not going to be fully in either. Because when you're put in a situation where you're like, you feeling like you have to be one or the other, how can you dedicate energy to both and like put your all into both? Because you feel like you're having to worry all the time about making a decision. You ain't got to make a decision. Because I also feel like you are holding back a little bit because of that. Because you don't want to fully commit to what's going on our side, or fully commit to what's going on their side in worry of upsetting the other side. Because I'm seeing like 60% of the Gigi I know.
You're not wrong. I just, it just would be nice if people like but understand that what makes me happy, instead of looking more always a conversation of the negative. Like, even let's just say I go down a path, and even if I was warned, and even if I scrape my knee, or I get fucked over, or I end up doing this and that and it blows up in my face, and so be it. That is my own decision. But people still should support you no matter what. Even if you don't listen to the advice, it still should be one of those things where if I feel like you're my friend, you're allowed to have your worries and concerns and obviously be there for me, but also understand, respect, and what makes me happy at the end of the day. And I think maybe recently, just in general, that's not the case. I just feel like part of how I feel just never gets validated. And I just kind of like just take it, because I don't want to sit here and have a same conversation over and over again, and I don't want to continue to bicker back and forth. It's like trying to piece together a broken glass. It's just never going to end up looking like the same when you broke it.
Even making you make that decision though is just it's tarnishing how you think about things from get-go, right? Like putting you in a position where you have to sit down and feel like you have to make a decision. How are you gonna think positively about that? Because you don't need to choose. And the fact you're even sitting here and having to speak to James and worrying about it and stressing about it and overthinking it means there's a seed planted in your head that's led to a very real thought that you're actively thinking about, which isn't stemming from how you feel. Because you don't feel like you have to choose. But other people have made you feel like you have to. And then that's become one of your worries, but it ain't even your worry.
Eventually, because I really hope it's not the case, and I really don't want to lose anyone, but I'll be honest, if it continues to feel that way, or I feel that way, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna start putting Gigi first, because I think I deserve it. I think I've put so other people, and I've tried my best, no matter what that is, to make someone else happy, because I do like genuinely seeing people I care about around me happy. But I don't want to lose people. If it has to be that way, then so be it. But I don't want it to get to that point. But
It's not you losing people though. That's what you need to realize as well.
You say that, but you don't. I don't know.
Because you say it's you losing people, right? But it's not you losing people. It's you getting pushed away. You being forced to make a choice and put in a scenario where it's them versus us in like simple terms, that's not you losing people, because you believe you can do both. That's being pushed away because you're trying to balance both. And that's not me trying to like push you one way or the other, but that's just coming from completely neutral looking at it. You're not at risk of losing people. You're just being pushed away. But I think that's counterproductive, because I don't think they want to push you away. Because I think, in all honesty, what it is they probably have a very big fear of losing someone that they genuinely care about, to the point where that blinds them and that gets switched into pushing you away, when realistically they're trying to do the complete opposite. But they just don't see that.
And I don't know how to get them to see that.
I don't think that stems from you because you've tried to like let them know that you can do both. But they don't see a lane that works in. And that's on them recognizing it rather than you having to show it more and you going out of your way to do whatever. You've told them that you can make both work. They just need to look inwards and be receptive and trusting of you.
Right.
I've seen it many times. It sounds like just basic level trust issues. It's like it happens with so many groups. Like they can't see that you won't leave, even though you know deep down you won't, because you're mad loyal.
I just no, you're right. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, how much more until I actually do walk away? And then I think Kylie said something to me earlier is, what was it? I think it's something along the lines of, chase people that chase after. Hi. So, what were you talking about?
He was talking about you and your friends and us and your dilemma and how you are. You was telling me about a little conversation you had with Kylie, I think was the last thing you said. And then Kay came over. Also, if you happen to have any food that I could grab, that would be amazing. I was going to do a trip via Senior Buns, but I didn't want to keep you waiting.
Oh, you're fine. I don't have any food.
Bandages it is. Kylie?
Yeah, Kylie said a specific line. She gave me really good advice, but the majority of that conversation, she said one specific thing that is probably gonna stick with me, which was choose the family that chooses you.
Wise words from the Kane. Wish I could have chose my family. Wouldn't have picked her. I'm joking. She's lovely. I mean, she's right.
But, I mean, her and your mom was the only thing came from it, right? I know you said something about your dad.
Yeah, different dad, same mom.
Right.
Sorry, same dad, different mom. I get confused.
Do you miss your dad?
Do I miss my dad? Nah. I was 4 when he died. I didn't really know him like that.
Isn't
Miss
it
my
weird
Marge, though.
sometime? Oh.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, isn't it weird sometimes we kind of reminisce and miss people that has like mistreated us? Like, it wasn't that very great, but you still miss them, but you don't understand really why. I hate that about me.
Who do you miss?
I miss this friend I used to have back in Chicago.
What's her name?
Her name was Sydney. She was kind of like one of my friends that was like... She wasn't really necessarily the greatest friend, but she was kind of one of those like living the luxury lifestyle.
But SK's not actually 45.
And she kind of brought me into the circle, even though they talked about me and picked on me and said
SK's
awful
4
fucking
years
things
older
about
than
me,
Kylie.
you know. But she had her tendencies of being a friend when she could be and when she wanted to, and then when she was back in front of them, she treated me like shit. But I think I missed necessarily the good parts about that, but not necessarily the bad ones.
Tend to forget the bad times in it when you miss someone.
Who do you miss?
Who do I miss?
Yeah, do you miss anyone?
Hmm. It's a good question. I don't know that I truly miss anyone. I like to think I miss people, but genuinely, you know, thinking about it regularly, I don't know that I do.
Fair enough. Hey, thanks for always, obviously you don't have to. I get that. But thanks just for always being in my corner.
It's alright. I mean, I kind of inserted myself in your corner 5 years ago.
Well, I'm happy that you did.
I don't really lose friends, you know? I had the same people around me since the start, so people don't really come and go. I mean, that's not entirely true. Like, people do come and go out of my life, but for the most part, that's on them, not me.
You're not really the type of person, I'm just assuming because I don't know, that you don't really end things, they kind of just walk out.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I think that's kind of my situation now, right? It's like I don't know necessarily want to walk out, but I want to keep fighting for something, right? To even though it could be really bad and very toxic, and I want to keep fighting for it, but how much can I fight for something that's just weighing me down a little bit? And that's the most annoying part of it all, because the thing about it is I don't take no shit from anyone that's kind of outside that I don't have a relationship with. But when it kind of people you're kind of have a little bit of kind of belt on that, it's really hard to just walk away from it.
Hmm.
I think that's the hardest thing about any kind of relationship, is walking away from something that you know could be possibly not good for you, but you don't necessarily know. I mean, I'll be honest, I feel like most people don't have that kind of escape outside of something like that, right? A lot of people sometimes when it comes to friendship, relations, whatever that is, don't really necessarily have or don't know what's out there that could be better for them. So they just sit and stay in a place and kind of deal with it along the way. Like, in order for a wound to heal, you have to stop touching it, right? Like, you can't pick at it, you can't put it, you just have to fucking stop touching it or it'll just never fucking heal. For me, I always keep poking at something because I want to try to make it better, fix it.
I did the same thing. I mean, that principle applies everywhere. Like, when I originally became leader of Mandem at the end of the Mandem, I knew deep down there was a handful of people that I just needed to turn around to and say, you're gone. But it was so far past that point. And it would have bettered everyone to have done that. And 5 years ago, I was that guy that would do the same thing. Poke that wound. But you're only as strong as your fucking weakest link. That's something I'm trying to lead with these days. And just trying to hold high, like, a principle I follow, you know? Like, if someone has a negative effect on you or your people, or they're not bringing out the best in you, then sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do for yourself. How do you zoom out? V.
You
I don't even know what
you
tyrant
promised
is,
me
bro.
one thing.
I'm about to Google that.
Is I know for a fact that sometimes when it comes with leadership can be very, and I can just assume, but it can be a lot mentally, you know, dealing with so much as a leader. And I've seen it firsthand. Sometimes people forget to ask them how they are. So if you ever feel that it's getting overbearing, you just want to talk, or like how
Oh,
we're
my
talking
back
now,
just
that
kicked so hard.
you always call me and we'll talk like this. I don't want you to feel like, yeah, you have an amazing role and a good leadership role, but at the same time, you still matter too.
There's something you should know about me, and that is that I'm always alright. The day I'm not alright is the day I'm 6 feet in the ground. Until then, I'm calm. That's a very SK answer. But I appreciate it. You know, I got you in the same way.
And I feel like hanging out with you guys sometimes, it's been really fun. I like everyone.
I think they like you a lot too. It's one of those, like, the more you chill, I feel like the more comfortable you get and the more you can be yourself. And I think the more yourself you are, the more you'll get on with everyone, you know? Just don't...
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, sorry, I was
Carmen!
talking, but I guess
Thank you for the raid,
something stuck in my
Carmen!
throat.
What's
yeah,
going on, Raiders? Welcome to the stream.
Right,
You joined at a very
I
serious
feel
conversation.
I'm
Welcome,
holding back,
welcome,
and maybe that
welcome,
is
welcome.
partly true, but
Welcome to the
I
stream,
think I'm
everybody. I
going
hope
to
you had a
go
lovely
back
stream
from
of
my decision
Carmela.
to pull out to any of this because I do like it here.
What's going on, everyone?
I want to keep being here.
It is I,
So.
the man that drank the breast milk. Well, not me. SK. Hello, everyone. Just promise me one thing. Yeah? Don't let this group change who you are. And don't try and adjust yourself to work in the environment. Be you, because that's why we want you here. Don't lose your identity. Raw. Hope everyone enjoyed Carmela's
I'll be
stream,
honest,
man.
I feel like part
Thank
of
you for the
myself I've
love.
lost. I'll never get back, but I don't want to be completely cold either. So
I don't think you'd ever be completely cold. I think in all honesty, I thought I was, but I don't think I was ever completely cold. And I think it's pretty hard to get there. There's always a little bit beneath all of the bullshit.
Makes sense.
You're the
You
last
feel like-
person to go cold.
Do you ever feel like you just told me that you're always fine?
Man, scranning
You're always gonna be
bandages,
fine
bro.
Until you're not, and you'll be 6 feet on it. But are you just telling me that because you're kind of trying slowly to cut off your emotions a little bit? Does it seem simple that way?
You ready for the Top Boy quote? I say that because in the life that I live and I've always lived, there's two options. You're either a monster or food.
Which one are you?
Well, I ain't trying to get eaten. I could never be food. SK is a munch, bro. Relax.
Too handsome to be a monster.
Nah, there's some handsome monsters.
Not the ones I've recently met. They're kind of all ugly.
I've seen what John Wick did. He ain't bad looking.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, I do like John Wick a lot.
So how you feel? Are you stressing?
Not anymore, no. I think my stress goes away when I hang around you guys.
Jabba the Hutt is pretty handsome. Good. That's how it should be, you know? I wouldn't want it any other way. I just want you to be 100% you and 100% giving it the most that you can give. Because I know you want to. It's just you're torn and stuck between a hard and a rock place, you know? You're being dragged in different directions. What the fuck? She always does that.
Yeah.
What does that mean? How does a jaw tick?
I think I'm
She got a fucking Rolex in her cheek or something.
kind of. I want to be done with that.
I'm gonna be real with you. I've been living by the rule of being direct this time around of running something, right? And I'm not trying to apply like gang principles to your personal life, but if I were you, I'd go to the people that give you that energy of telling you need to make a choice and say to them, as straight as you can be, I care about our friendship. I know you don't want to lose me. So why are you pushing me away?
feel like I've tried. I feel like I keep trying, but maybe I'm not being loud enough.
I don't think you need to be loud to make someone listen.
Still
Do
even
you
knowing
need
is to be
to-
loud and to somebody to be listen to me.
I mean,
I feel like what I've lived through, like if I wasn't loud, no one noticed me. When my parents used to fight, they would not pay attention to me until I actually screamed onto the top of my fucking lungs. Yelled. Especially if I couldn't feel like someone was not listening to me, I felt like I yelled and I voiced it in a way that they would pay attention to me. And maybe now I haven't been. Maybe I need to be more vocal about it.
if you have to raise your voice, that's not on you. It's about the people who ain't listening. When everyone was shouting over each other when Future was at the block, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't shout. You're rarely gonna catch me raising my voice, because I just surround myself with people that listen. For the most part. And Matt.
I am going to gonna try to talk to the person again. So
Just be as direct as you can be while still being friendly. Don't allow it to be misinterpreted, right? Like, just leave no room for misunderstanding. Lay it out plain and simple. I care for your friendship. I feel like you're scared of losing me, and that is causing you to push me away. Why is this happening? And if you put something to somebody that straight, regardless if they answer the question or not, you will get your answer.
thank you, SK. I really do appreciate it. I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Let me know how it goes. Come on, we should get away from the sea. All that sea salt ain't gonna be good for your hair.